Hello there, everyone in TikTok land. Here we are coming from the porch in Parker, Colorado again. And today we thought we'd talk about hyperfixations, namely
Why can't
perfume.
it just be something I enjoy?
Right? Well, let's talk about that actually.
That's a good
That's
idea.
that's interesting.
Sure.
So,
It's definitely a hyperfixation. And I enjoy it. Sorry.
that's okay. So for people who are neurodivergent, people with different kinds of brains, there's a term that they use a lot, they meaning like the internet people, called hyperfixation, which means something you're intensely interested in to the point of doing hours of research, buying books and many books. It's almost like you're doing like a thesis on this item, and then like you kind of run it, like whatever you're interested in runs its course, and then you are looking at the next thing.
It's never going to run its course.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I'm in it for life.
Really? Well,
Yes.
actually, that's true of you in your hyperfixations,
Yeah.
I think. Whereas for me, it's different. Like I'm interested in something, and then it runs its course.
And in this case, you haven't specifically stated. We're talking about perfume.
All right, we're going to talk about perfume.
Yeah.
So, and it's always interesting to me, like with my hyperfixations, I didn't understand till much later why I was interested in them. And all of my interests really revolve around people. Like I'm not a things person. I don't get super into things with the exception of maybe perfume.
Sure. Yeah, you've
It's
been
kind of a new
fixated
thing.
on like people, subject matters,
Yeah.
ideas,
Ideas and people.
history, things like that.
Right. Like I was
Gangs.
super interested in gangs and the Holocaust. Although I'm not well, I am 1% Jewish. I just found that out. But it's not like I
We're
was
gonna,
trying to understand my history or something.
yeah.
Well, we're gonna what?
We'll skip the joke.
Okay.
We'll keep it PG.
So, but no, it's different. You're more hyperfixated on things. Like, what was your first thing that you were super into that
Oh
you can
gosh,
remember?
like like hobby wise,
Yeah,
um,
that you did lots and lots of research on and know a lot about.
probably like anatomy, physiology, sport performance,
Okay.
that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not really an object, but
It's a subject, that's
yeah,
fine.
I got deep into that.
That was in high school?
No, it was probably starting early college.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then since then you've had cigars and whiskey, watches.
Yes, like
Um,
yeah. So I think like the difference is I don't just sort of casually go. I like cigars. Let me just like go casually pick a cigar.
right.
Or it's like, no, I've got a humidor full of.
Two
I
of
think,
them.
yeah.
You at
Well,
one point you had three.
well, I had a wine refrigerator. I had a 70 quart igloo cooler. I had
Yes.
two desktop humidors. So
Yes.
I think at some point I probably had a collection of like 10,000 cigars.
What? I'm sad I
Easily,
didn't know you then.
easily. That was like 2 years ago.
Oh,
I
for real?
sold, yeah, oh, easily, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, how do you think I sold like $8,000 worth of cigars and still have
So
like
many.
hundreds of cigars up there?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that
yeah.
was so many.
Well,
My
then
goodness.
I did my job well then.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's not casual, right? Like
Yes.
I
It's
know,
like a deep
yeah,
interest.
like where the tobacco comes from, the difference between Lajero and Viso and Seco, and the different
Words.
regions,
Words.
and those are the different primings of the tobacco, like what level, how it
Yes.
affects the flavor,
Yes.
who the various people are involved, right?
Yeah.
Like the rollers, the blenders, the history of the companies, all of that, right?
Yeah, you know in-depth knowledge about this
Yeah.
topic. It's not, I like this kind of cigar. I smoke it every now and then.
Right, right.
Now
Or
you can
yeah,
pick up the notes, and I think you can.
I definitely
You can
can. Like we
describe
talked
them.
about last time, I don't tend to describe them as food, but like
Right.
I definitely pick up the notes.
Okay, so let's jump forward in time to your current
Fixation,
deep interest.
perfumes.
Perfumes. How did
Yeah.
that start? Where what
Um,
happened?
I
How did
mean,
we
for the
end up
longest
here?
time, yeah, for the longest time, I never wore any scent.
Yeah, you actually were kind of
Nothing scented.
averse to that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Uh, I don't know either.
Probably because I had like ridiculous sort of gender associations or identity
Oh,
stuff. Maybe
okay.
that's not quite the right term I'm looking for, but
Mm.
maybe ideas about myself like I don't need that.
Oh,
Like I'm just okay as I am.
did it start with the aftershave?
Maybe it is your fault, actually. Yes.
It's my fault.
Well, and by her fault, what I mean is that you would smell me after I've shaved my head and use some, and you would always, let's just say, react positively,
Yeah.
favorably.
I really like this one aftershave he
Yeah.
has, and it's like a generic.
Oh,
It's like Gillette for
it's
men.
cheap. Yeah,
It's
I mean
not
it's
even
and
nice.
that's why I always express. I'm like, really, this is what does it for you? Like, this is the big secret,
Yeah, this is the
right?
secret.
Okay. And then it was around that time, and I thought,
Interesting.
okay. And then when I got, oh, I know what it was. When I got into my other EDC kick,
Yeah.
all the
Okay.
little gadgets and trinkets and man
Explain
purses
what
and
EDC
bags.
is.
EDC stands for everyday carry.
Okay.
So it's a whole, just Google everyday carry, and I'll see you in 2 years
Yes.
when you come back from
The
Wonderland.
deep dive
Yeah.
into that.
And somebody in the world of EDC was pointing people towards this website where you could get dupes or duplications, right? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not mocks. They're they're duplicates,
Imitations.
imitations. That's the
Yeah.
word. Thank you. Imitations of famous perfumes,
Mm-hmm.
colognes, men's perfumes, and it's a place called Musk and Hustle.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't heard of it, go
Go
check it
check it
out.
out.
It's awesome.
Really, really great like
Yep.
small roller balls of.
Got you hooked into it a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Bought you a few,
Yep.
and so what I got fascinated with, and this is part the little thing that's part of it, right? Like, if I had to spend a couple $100 and commit to it's a puer complex thing probably, right? Like, no, I can't make a commitment to an entire bottle of a scent, but I can spend the same amount of money on 50
Little
tiny
tiny
little
scents.
samples.
No commitment.
That's right.
Yes, that makes sense.
And so just like diving into exploring that, and like I would get fascinated with smelling the scent first and
Mm-hmm.
seeing what I could pick up out of it, and then
Mm-hmm.
reading the description and realizing I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
But then coming back to it and going, can I find the notes that they're talking about?
Yep.
And I think part of it is, at least the impact for me is that, as you and I have discussed, my inferior function is extroverted sensation. So
Okay.
that's all Myers-Briggs language.
Yes.
So if you're not familiar, you go research Myers-Briggs and Google
Inferior function,
superior and
function.
inferior function. So basically, the thing I'm worst at is using my five senses to relate to and interpret the world.
Yes.
Right, which is why I bump into things and knock things over and drop things. Can't find my phone or my keys. Don't really keep track of time very well. All of
Yes.
that's extroverted sensation.
Yeah.
And so this is, it's pretty well known in psychology around the Myers-Briggs that we can become sort of unconsciously fixated or consumed by things associated with our inferior function.
Mm.
And so I went, oh, I'm curious about a scent, and I have one little sniff, and I go, oh my God, and then I'm just consumed by the energy of
Yes.
like, holy cow, this is amazing. But it's not entirely unhealthy.
Sure.
I mean, it could be, but I've done a lot of work around that. I'm not really controlled by my inferior
No.
function anymore. And it becomes a way of actually exercising that function. It would be like if you have, a weak body part as a bodybuilder, you spend extra time and special attention trying to develop that body part. And I
Right.
think for me, working with my extroverted sensation through sense is an exercise for my inferior function. Now, I'm assigning that sort of a posteriori. Like at the time, I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking, this is so much fun.
Right.
And I love this. And oh my gosh, and this scent by itself, I can pick up this. Then it gets crazy, right? Because then you can start combining scents. You can blend them and start creating your own magical thing. And
See, this is a
it's
hyperfixation.
hyperfixation.